Hello, hello. Welcome to this episode of the Hello, Hello podcast. I am your host, Alyssa Rogers. And today we have a very familiar face of Halifax County, Dan Powell. Thank you for being here.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure.
I was so excited when Mallory reached out and said, hey, I think you should have Dan on to talk about all things the Sports Hall of Fame, the camps coming up, scholarship programs, and I'm just really excited to get to know more about athletics in Halifax County because we were just talking before we started about how athletic Halifax County really is.
Right.
And I want to hear from you. So tell us.
First, thank you.
Yeah.
The Hall of Fame is a way to preserve tradition, preserve history. And as we were talking about traveling around, going to other places, there's always that connection to Halifax and athletes and athletic performance. So our history is very rich here. And the Hall of Fame's goal is to preserve that, preserve our athletes. Not only athletes, but contributors. We've expanded our recognitions beyond just the playing field, where we're looking at those that volunteer. We're looking at teams as a whole, because we've had a lot of successful teams. The past 2 years, our two state championship teams were inducted as a team as a whole. So that's a new outlook. Where teams together, because as we know with sports, teams, it does take everyone, and all pieces are important. So recognizing a team for their success. But we also know that some individuals stand out and they have excellent careers, or they're big contributors beyond just playing. Just this year, the board approved, we have a different category where a contributor category, so that includes media personnel.
Oh, that's nice.
That includes donors, because that's important. If you look at sports success in Halifax and everywhere, it takes a whole community. It's a big support structure in order to be successful. And there are people that deserve recognition. They've been a vital part in Halifax athletics, in particular athletes, but also teams. So it's important that we preserve those and recognize them through the Hall of Fame. So that's the mission of the Hall of Fame. Over the past year, we've expanded some, looking into, you brought up scholarships, you brought up youth camps. It's also important that, and the board is great, they're very supportive. We can preserve the history, but we also have to plan for the future, because the youth and our high school students through the scholarship program, they're our future. I look at them, they're our future Hall of Famers, we hope.
They are.
So if we can guide them and use some of the history with our Hall of Famers to give back and show support for the youth, we hope they grow through that, and one day they become Hall of Famers. Maybe they're sitting in this seat, and I can watch some of them. So that's important to the growth of the Hall of Fame as a whole. Is supporting the youth also.
And so what goes into, because you mentioned nominations, and so is it a nomination process? What does that look like to have someone enter the Hall of Fame?
Right. So the Hall of Fame nomination period, we open, usually stays open about 6 or 7 months out of the year. We collect online on our Facebook page. You can get the nomination form. You can also get hard copies if you need to. So we collect nomination forms from anyone. We expanded to go online because we recognize that there are people that live outside of Halifax County but are tied to Halifax, or maybe they moved away, but they offer a perspective also. So we collect nomination forms. The cutoff date is in July. So we switched our ceremony into the fall, which was a big success this past year. So we collect nomination forms through July. We have a committee. They're anonymous. We keep them anonymous.
Okay.
They go through the nomination forms, they discuss, and then they report back to the board who their selections are. We felt to keep the professionalism
Sure.
of the selections, to keep that an anonymous group that comes in. There are some that I don't know when they
Wow.
come in, and that's okay. That's
Yeah.
good. It keeps the purity of it.
I love that.
So there's no behind the scene talk, and we want to keep it. We want to preserve that. It's a tough process.
Yeah. What are they looking for?
So when you look at
Yeah.
a nominee,
Yeah.
we're looking at athletic performance. We're looking at what their contributions were as an athlete, but also to the community. Like I said, we added an extra piece to that with contributors. So how they contributed, how they gave back to the sport in the athletic world here in Halifax. So they look at a lot of things other than just the performance. The community piece is a big part of that, and what they do, what they've done, how they impacted Halifax County through sport. So when you look at all of that and you get a lot of nominations, it's a tough process,
Yeah.
and it's a lot of thought put into selecting those individuals. It's taken very seriously by the group, and the board takes very serious about those nominees that get brought back, and we want to recognize our people that contribute. Another thing with the nominations that we started this past year. So nominations now stay active. It's very similar to some of the pro sports
Okay.
Hall of Fame. Once they're nominated and they're on the ballot, they stay active for more than 1 year so that we
Nice.
can review them. We recognize that you get people that are deserving, but there may be 3 or 4 others that are more in that particular year. So felt it was important to keep them active. They're still very deserving to be there. And then relook at them, revisit for the next nomination class.
And you can go back as far as you want to when they played. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
So as far as time frame,
sure.
that's not a factor.
Okay.
Any contribution, any support, any performance that they gave to Halifax County is looked into. Um, and then we keep them, like I said, we keep them active. We also do. We had one this past year, a deceased inductee, and we recognize that some leave us before, but they're very deserving. So that's also an active part of recognizing our history and preserving it.
And let's just give, I mean, there are so many. Like we were talking about how athletic Halifax County
Yes.
is. And so I know we could never name them all, but give some standouts, some people that stand out that are in the Hall of Fame, some
So
athletes.
you could go back recently, Brad Ballou. You have Matthew McCargo, who's still very active. You have the '84 baseball team, which everyone knows. The '91 football team, and there's people on each of those. Aaron Brand was a recent inductee, and came back as the leader representative for the '91 state championship team. Casey Waller with baseball, and Lynn Wentz. The names are vast.
Yeah.
Two of our local celebrities, Ward and Jeff Burton.
Yeah.
They're members of the Hall of Fame, and we have some really cool artifacts of theirs with the Hall of Fame. So the vast majority, or the sports offering, are covered, and we want to keep expanding that. That's another thing, is diversifying who is inducted.
Yeah.
Because sports have grown in Halifax over 50 years of sport offerings at the school level, but also in the community have expanded drastically. So we don't want to miss the sports that are newer to us, and when they become qualified to do so, they're definitely considered. So it's very important to look at a diverse group of athletes across all sports, and we've I believe since I've been involved, we've been doing a pretty good job of diversifying that.
I completely agree. And I want to shift to you a little bit, speaking of that, because sports is a huge part of your life. Has it always been that? And what keeps you involved?
So I grew up at a grandmother's house a lot. It
Hmm.
was beside a baseball complex,
Hmm.
the old Carter Field.
Hmm.
And it was nightly that I could walk out the back door and go to the ball field. Um, the kids, the relationship, the friends I made back at Carter Field still last today.
Mm.
The coaches that I had are still a part of my life today. You know, I know I can reach out to them. Some I talk to on a daily basis.
Awesome.
Um, so sports made me who I am. It gave me an opportunity through school, gave me an opportunity in the college to play. And then I've coached since I graduated.
Mm.
And didn't choose education, but once I got in, I haven't left. And
Yeah.
being able to see the younger group and develop them is also important. So athletics is bigger than just playing. To me, athletics teaches a lot of lessons. Athletics is also it's a big support group uh, through life. It's not just on the field or court. It's a life thing for me,
Yeah.
and it's been important to me my whole life. So
I can
um,
feel that from you. And thank you for everything that you do to give back to athletes in our
mhm.
community through coaching and mentorship. And you're even going to have some camps
Yes.
coming up this summer. So you're continuing to give back. Talk to us about the summer camp program.
So we started that a year ago.
Hmm.
Last year we had a couple of different camps, and like I said, the Hall of Fame as a whole recognize where we can give back to the youth. Like I say, I refer to them our future Hall of Famers.
Hmm.
So we have a soccer camp coming up next week.
Hmm.
We have a speed and agility camp coming up the week after. That's something very new.
Yeah, tell me about that.
So speed and agility, athletes, all athletes across all sports need speed and need
Mm.
agility to perform at their highest level. So recognizing that we could offer an opportunity to give some information and give some pointers
Mhm.
or even just movements that they can do on their own to improve their overall athletic ability. And we're lucked up, and we have a coach who really does well with developing speed, and with that becomes agility. So being in as a coach and seeing that's a part of the sport that sometimes gets
It
left
does.
behind, or you just do
Yeah.
it, or you have it naturally. But there, we can give back and offer an
I
opportunity
want
to
to go to
grow
that
that.
camp.
Yeah,
Can I come
yeah,
to that
absolutely, absolutely.
camp?
So after that, we have our volleyball camp
Mhm.
going on in July, as well as a golf camp. And there are some of these camps there are others going on, and we try to target the younger age group, 7 to 12-year-olds is our target, so that we can build a foundation for them as they continue to develop in their sport, and also give a variety for young kids to be involved in. Um, the camps itself are developmental, but they also start building those relationships that are important through athletics. It starts building some discipline to be able to do those things and understand what there is to work on, and some on your own. So that's really important to build athletes in general for our schools, but also their confidence and self-esteem as individuals and the relationships they'll build through it. So it's really important to us for that.
Well, I'm going to post all the details for the camps and the application for nominations because we've talked about that too. And then you have a really cool program, and it's the scholarship program. Can you take me through that?
Yeah, so the scholarship program began back in the 90s with an endowment that was left to the Hall of Fame for the very first scholarship. From that, it expanded to there was and I'll give him credit, Doug Mate's family had a scholarship. Chris Parker and his family, the Parker Legacy Scholarship began. And then as a Hall of Fame, we added in our own Legacy Scholarship, which that's what our camps are geared towards supplying for. Um, so it's really important as we build the youth, we recognize high school students are going to continue their education.
Yep.
A lot of them are going to continue playing sports. I know how that was as a high school graduate going to college and going to play a sport, and any little help we can to give them the support and the guidance and just let them know that our community is behind them, it means a lot. And so it's really important we give back and monetarily to these athletes that are going on to secondary education. And we look to build that, if we add more, we look to build that for our students. And it's been a really positive experience seeing that the students receive these scholarships. And you can tell they're very appreciative going to the next level. And we want to support and know that they're going to continue working. And hopefully the invitation is given that they come back to Halifax. They know they have the support structure here, and that they come back and help us build future Hall of Fame scholarship recipients and Hall of Famers. So.
That's awesome. And speaking of the future, how can people get involved? Are you looking for volunteers or people that want to get involved in the Hall of Fame or whatever it may be, the camps?
So volunteers are always welcome. We also have a couple of levels of membership. So there's a yearly membership. I believe if you can post it, I believe
sure
it's
can.
a $25 yearly membership. We also have a lifetime membership. And with the memberships, it includes those individuals at our ceremony that'll be coming up each year. It all welcomes all to help with camps. If we can take adults to give back, we're open hands to get them involved. That shows it models to the youth. And if they see Hall of Famers or they see possibly future Hall of Famers coming to help,
Yes.
that's a modeling and guidance, that mentorship piece you talked about. So getting involved through memberships, through volunteering is welcome. Our Facebook page has nomination forms.
Linked. I'll link it.
They also have the membership forms where they can sign up and be involved. We want to be open and all-inclusive, and we want to make this community, building pride in our community through this. And that's why it was important, and it's important to our board that it's not just the inductees, that we've expanded to youth, the scholarship program, and expanding that to be an all-inclusive type of group. So, yeah, getting involved with that. We have some that make donations that support our scholarship program. We have some that make donations that gear towards working towards a building space, which is also important to us. That's a vision that was set many years ago, and we still have that vision to get a solidified space. So we're working towards that. So any help from our community, I want it to be known that we're a community organization. Athletics may be the driver, but we're a community organization and want to be involved.
That's awesome. And what do you see the future of athletics in Halifax County? What is your vision for the future?
I think the future of Halifax athletics is very bright.
Yes.
There's a lot of talent. There's a lot of opportunity in Halifax County. There's a lot of involvement. Putting all the pieces together, the future for athletics in general is very bright. There's a lot of success still to come, and we want to capture that. And the Hall of Fame's piece of that is preserving it, hopefully helping guide it, but also preserve it once it comes. And that's what I see the vision. I see athletics continuing to grow, continuing to build those stories that you hear even outside of Halifax. And it's really cool to go outside of the county and hear stories of connections back here, back to home.
Yeah.
So we want to keep that trend going and expand it.
Well, a lot of it is because of people like you and for helping preserve it, for continuing to invest in your time and in the youth and bringing up the athletes in Halifax County. So I just want to say thank you for everything that you do to give back and everything that you continue to do to preserve athleticism in Halifax County. So thank
It's
you.
a, I'll say it's a community effort.
Yes.
There's a lot of people involved. There's a board, particularly to the Hall of Fame, that's very active and very supportive. So it's a community effort. I can't take credit for that. I'm just one piece. But if we all do it together, we can accomplish a lot.
You heard it here. We all have to do it together. And that is the running theme on so many of these episodes. Get involved in the community in any area that you feel like you are passionate about. There are so many things going on. And if athletics is something that drives you, reach out to Dan. He can help you out and tell you where you can help in so many different ways. And I just really appreciate everyone for watching and listening today. We've linked everything. So be sure to get your nominations in, start volunteering, donate to the scholarships. There are so many ways that you can get involved. Thank you again for being
Thank you.
here.
Thank you.
And thank you, everyone. Continue letting me know who you want to see on here next. I'm so thrilled about everyone that we've had on recently and everyone we have coming on in the future. So continue sending me people and we'll get them on here and we'll talk to you next week. Bye.